This is a belt tensioner of the BMW engine. Most of the 92 and later have this type of belt tensioners. Also, other cars, not just BMWs, have similar tensioners. So what happens is this one is still good. There is no planet, but it makes like a screeching noise because there's a dirt inside in the bearing, and the lubricant is all gone. So took it off the car, and now we need to take something like an X-Acto knife or a scalpel, and we need to remove this ring here that seals the bearing. I have cut out a little piece here to gain access to it. It's a little bit easier that way, but you can try to remove it without cutting any parts of the seal. So the sharp edge of the knife goes down like this, and you slowly, this one is already taken out. I'm just going to show you because it takes quite a bit of time to press this out without damaging. You kind of slide it between the body of the bearing and the rubber of the seal, and slowly walk it around this way, all the way around a couple of times, and this is the result you're gonna have. And it's okay if you have cut out a piece here to gain better access to it, like I did here. This can be sealed with a glue later. This area here, the internal portion of the seal, it's best if it is intact. Otherwise you're gonna have to reseal it with some glue, and it's not gonna be as good as the original seal. So you pop the seal out like that, and now you have the access to the bearing. Now this one is already cleaned, so what you need to do is get some like engine degreaser. I used actually a brake cleaner because it dries up very quickly, and you spray it while turning this. Turn it upside down, shake it, wipe it off with some Q-tips, then spray it again from both sides while spinning the tensioner, this roller. So it should be rotating freely when it's all clean. You should not see any debris inside. Once this is done, you can take a grease, bearing grease, and start injecting it into the bearing. So I'm going to inject it all the way around. This is a high temperature wheel bearing grease, and this will work just fine. This is a synthetic one. So once it's done, and you spin it a little bit, I'm going to add some more, and I'm going to overfill this. And then I'm going to try to press this into the bearing while spinning the center part. Add some plastic over it like this, and I'm just going to use the press it tight first. I'm going to use my fingers first to compress that in, compress that grease in. I'm going to spin it a bit, press some more, as much as possible. And now I'm going to take a lid or a milk bottle, and using this way, I'm going to press on that grease inside the bearing. Use my fingers a little more. Try to turn it. Okay, so there's plenty of grease in there. Take the plastic off, and now we're gonna pack that seal back in. Use that lid again. Okay, so now it's all pressed in. I'm going to clean out the surface. And the next thing you need to do is, I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'm just going to explain how to get it done. So this area where I had removed some of the seal rubber, I'm going to use some paint thinner and clean that area really well. So here's some paint thinner. Oops, spilled. I need to clean this up very quickly so I don't ruin the table. Okay, anyway, so we take that paint thinner and clean this really well. Just don't put a lot like I did here, just need a little bit, but you really need to clean well that surface from the grease that is there. It's very important that it's all free of grease before you apply glue to seal this area. So once it's all clean, you can take any type of silicone glue. I'm using shoe glue or automotive goop. You can buy it at any hardware store. And here's the glue, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that glue and apply it on that area. I'm gonna put a little bit more. So as you can see, I didn't clean it well. I need to clean some more. It's gonna take some time to do it to make sure there is no grease there, otherwise the glue will not bond to that surface. So it has to be really clean and dry. You need to do like maybe 5-10 times, 5-10 times passing through that area with the Q-tip, but don't squeeze it too hard so you don't get any of the paint thinner inside the bearing. So this is what it will look like when it's all completed. And you don't need to do the whole seal like that, like you see it on this one. The difference is that this one had damage all the way around on both sides. The seal, I mean, had been torn on the outside and on the inside, so I resealed the whole surface with that glue. What's important is before you apply the glue, you need to clean the surface really well. Then if you're gluing the inner portion of the seal, like right here for example, you need to take a little bit of grease and very carefully wipe it on this moving part, on the side of this moving part, so when the glue sets it doesn't bond to the moving part and it will be spinning freely like that after the glue sets, because this glue is already set. It's really hard. It is pliable though, so it's like a rubber seal. So, and this is how it spins, like that. And once the glue set, you just rotate this a little bit left and right, free it up, and that's gonna be just fine. So just remember that cleaning is very important. I'm gonna do this a couple more times with paint thinner before I use the glue to seal this area. So that's it. Now it's not going to be making any noise when it's spinning, and when the dirt gets inside or the lubricant gets pushed out from the bearing, it can be still done the same way. You can still pop that seal out again and just put some more grease in there, and it will be just fine.